Of the fall 2022 anime, Chainsaw Man has been undoubtedly one of, if not the most popular one, airing at this time. It has just been going absolutely crazy, and I mean, we kind of did expect this to happen because Chainsaw Man's manga was already vastly popular even before the anime came out, but the popularity is just going through the roof right now. Even if you're not really into social media and things like that, I'm pretty sure you can still tell that Chainsaw Man is vastly popular because of the amazing animation and story and characters and the very goofy narrative that it does have. Now, with this first 7 episodes, it did do really well. The characters, the story, the animation all seem to really appeal to the vast majority of the audience. And then came episode 8, which was the most recent episode, which came out today, Tuesday, November the 29th. This episode was undoubtedly the best one in Chainsaw Man so far. It's literally not even close. As a manga reader going into this episode, I didn't even remember what was going to happen. I just completely forgot, to be honest, what happens in Chainsaw Man until around chapter 70 where it really gets good. But I didn't expect it to be like this early on. I can't believe we're only on episode 8 and we're already getting to some really good moments in early Chainsaw Man. And because I did forget this part of the story personally, it just elevated the hype and the emotions in this episode watching it for what felt like the first time, but it wasn't really. I can comfortably say that this was an anime episode of the year contender, and the manga absolutely pales in comparison. Now, as I said, this episode was insanely good, and you can already tell by the fact that I made a video on it. When I make videos on an anime episode, you know that they're really good episodes. I don't sit down and make episode reviews about episodes that are just full of nonsense. You may have noticed I didn't make a video on the Bleach episode that came out because it was kind of full of nonsense. You'd think a 10 out of 10 episode like this would start with greatness, right? You'd think that it just comes off the cliffhanger from last episode, we get into some crazy, well, all we really get is a lot, and I mean a lot of personality and a close call for almost crossing the border into seinen. Now, I'm not going to comment on this moment, especially due to the previous experiences I've had with the Chainsaw Man fanbase, so we're just going to move on and pretty much pretend like half of this episode didn't even happen. So after some of this NPC dialogue and, you know, boring filler content, we get to Makima on a train. Now, I just said boring filler content, so why am I talking about Makima being on a train? You know, not much can really happen here, right? So as a manga reader, I'm not really going to say anything about this moment, but anime enjoyers, what you just saw did just happen. Out of nowhere, Makima gets a bullet to the head and to the body and is now dead. So that alone is kind of insane because Makima sort of built up to be like this extremely prominent and important secondary character in the story, while she just gets absolutely bodied in this episode. Not even a question. It's basically a jump scare at this point. Then the music gets crazy, and the music was another thing with this episode. Listen, whenever I make a video on an anime episode, I'm gonna comment on the music and probably say that it was amazing because I love music and I think it enhances an anime episode way more than people give it credit. We see more of this gun pulling craziness, and I really did like what they did with the audio and the sound and the feel, the ambience of this moment, where they sort of shut everything off and it was very mysterious. It really elevated the suspense of this moment as it was a very important moment in the story. Chainsaw Man and its out of nowhere moments, here we go again. Once more, stuff just happens out of nowhere. I absolutely love it. Like, I'm not complaining. I love how they do this, but it's just hilarious too. Some random dude is sitting beside the group in a ramen shop, and this dude just kind of comes out of nowhere, disses the ramen shop saying their food sucks, and 5 seconds later he destroys the whole building and half the people in it. Just make sure the next time you watch Chainsaw Man you don't blink. Oh yeah, also, this dude here who's talking crap about the ramen shop is the son of this dickhead from the beginning. Safe to say he's going to be the antagonist moving forward. So, Denji, who's the main character, by the way, gets shot in the head, by the way. Himeno, who is seemingly an important character, also gets shot to the point where she's almost dead. And then Aki fights this Katana Man. Yeah, so how much craziness can you fit into a single sentence? The main character just got shot in the head, another side character just got shot in a very crucial area, and Makima is dead. This is all happening in one episode, by the way. The animation, the music, the moment here with Aki versus the Katana Man was so good. It was, yeah, I mean, what do you expect me to say? When there's good animation and good music, I think the moment is a 10 out of 10 moment. And this is definitely one of them. Might I add, the way they killed this dude was really sick. Aki's power with the Curse Devil, I highly respect that Mappa. Just when you think things are going well, they're going smoothly, Aki's overpowered, you know, he's gonna win this fight, this happens. Bro, who the hell are you? So this random kid shows up, revives the sword dude, and then proceeds to one-shot Aki. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words at this point. Next is probably the peak of this episode in my opinion, and it's where Himeno sacrifices pretty much her entire body and her life to keep Aki alive. This was a really good moment. I felt it a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have that much connection with these characters in the manga, but in the anime, I definitely felt that connection was much more enhanced for some reason. Dude, this moment was legit. This moment was really good. So what really happens here is that Himeno sacrifices everything to the Ghost Devil. She gets rid of her entire body and gains the ultimate power of the Cursed Devil. She gives up her entire body for this, and we see her losing it piece by piece, which is just tragic. It really does hurt to see this, and I think implementing this made it even more sad. Such a tragic moment, but at least she managed to settle the fight. Where did that even come from? Bro, physics doesn't even work like that. To me, this was the best episode in Chainsaw Man so far, in case you haven't gathered it by now. I think everything was absolutely perfectly on point. I think everything was done the best way possible for this moment. And I'm basically just talking about the second half of the episode because as we know, the first half was relatively mid, if you will. Now, you know, some people will enjoy the first half. I'm 100% sure. The second half was where it's at. The second half of this episode was some of the best we've seen of anime so far this season. Not only was it incredibly good, but it was a huge turning point for the story, and for this goofy and odd story, things just got really serious. Chainsaw Man changed a lot from this one episode. Let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comment section, because the comment section is for comments. But that is it for me. That is my thoughts on Chainsaw Man episode 8. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.